something, in the situation room with this stuff. So it says, and trust in the mountain of Samaria, which are named chief of the nations, to whom the house of Israel came. Then it says, pass ye unto Calne, and see, and from thence go to Hamath the great, then go to Gath of the Philistines, but be they better than these kingdoms. So in other words, all these kingdoms, not to go too far into that for the sake of time, all these kingdoms are basically, you got one corruption after another. And what the word is saying, you do this, you do this, you do that. Are you any better than those that do the same thing? Right? So I've used this several times, and some don't like when I say this. God don't want us in clubs booty shaking. He don't want us out acting a fool the same way the world does. He says, be holy because I am holy. So many of us justify why we do things because we think that, well, God said, he'll give us all the persuaders and let everyone be persuaded in their own heart. They go to Romans 14. They use all this nonsense, right? But I'm telling you the conversations that I've heard. Am I wrong for saying this? I am. I'm taking you on a journey. So the word is saying, be holy, for I am holy. So he's trying to say, with all this stuff, all these issues, these nations some people follow the same suit as the world. Why? Because they're their own selfish pride. It goes back to the woe. So when we understand these things, we learn to avoid these things. And or if we are avoiding them, we can help someone else, hopefully, to avoid these things. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Right? So the point is, when he says, woe to them that are eased, and then he goes through and he starts talking about all these nations, he's saying, are you really any different? Are you really any better than these fallen nations? So he's asking the question to the church as a whole, because this is who he's talking to. He's talking to the people in the church. He said, are you any different? And when I sit down with people who are supposedly in the church, and they wonder why they have so many issues, it all comes back to, you know what, you're not doing anything differently than what the world is, so what should you expect? You ultimately reap what you sow. So therefore, to help someone identify with this, we need to know what to look for. Does that make sense?
I'm out.
To help someone not fall into this trap of pride, we need to know, well, what does pride look like? And it comes in various forms. This just happens to be one of them. Right? So when you're looking at that and you're sitting there saying, especially like a new child in Christ, supposedly, they're coming in and they think just because they're going to church, but yet they can go out to the clubs, and we've had this conversation several times. They can go out and do this and do that, and they think that I'm still saved by grace and all these different things, but yet the word is saying you're no different. And people need to know that, otherwise they will perish. All right, Sister Walker.
We're always charged to take them back to the Word.
Exactly.
And sometimes it's easier.